Hey, nice to meet you. What's your name?
It's Alejandro.
Uh,
It's very nice to meet you too.
Okay, so I think we should get right into the interview.
I would
And,
love to.
all right, and for the first question, I think we'll get straight into it. So, I was wondering, how does your product use or challenge conventions, and how does it represent social groups or issues?
This really does represent social groups and issues. It represents about everyone in the world. First of all, it represents courage. Courage is something that most of us and a lot of us stress and have anxiety of wanting to do things once they talking to getting to meet new friends, uh, meet a male or female counterpart in a relationship way. That could also take, you have to build up courage to do things like that, or to go see someone that you haven't seen in a long time, or to confront someone. All these things desire courage, and you need courage to get to these things, because without it you just won't ever do it. So once you put up the courage, you do these things. That's really important. In our movie, Monzor had to build up courage as our main character. He had been constipating in wheat for weeks, just at home with the supplies that he had, to go outside and really get to have to go against and confront these zombies, and to confront any of the natural elements that were outside, or anything else outside that were not the zombies, just anything like maybe a bug or anything that could really affect him in any way. He just didn't want to go outside because there was no one else outside. He really believed it was only him at the time until our other counterpart came in, which was me, the second character, or the other survivor. He thought he was the only one, so he was really scared to go outside because he really believed he was the last person on the whole planet Earth after everyone disappeared. His friends, his family, that really had him scared, had him panicked, and he had the anxiety really was building up for him. But another thing that really was represented in our product was that you have to build trust first. When the second survivor came in, which was me, he came and saved Monzor. Monzor was also confused, and he was another zombie fighting a zombie, which was something that he had never experienced yet, which had him extremely confused. So when me as a survivor came up, he was very shocked to see someone else that he hadn't seen anyone in weeks. So seeing someone that knew really had him panicked and worried. So once he saw this, he saw, oh, okay, I can trust him. After I said I was friendly and explained to him that I was a person, and as I was talking and he saw that I was acting regularly, that really helped him see and figure out and trust me as a person. So as a person, he finally trusted me, and he took me home and took care of me then.
That's a great answer, Alejandro.
Thank you.
Okay, and for this next question, how does your product engage with audiences, and how would it be distributed as a real media text?
It'd be it engaged audience in many ways. To be frank, if someone was the last person on Earth, or thought they were the last person on Earth, they would be going to panic, because how would you reproduce? How would you get food? What resources, especially if you don't have skills to go get resources, and you haven't trained yourself to get resources, and since this is a zombie apocalypse, it's like you don't have the resources. Maybe you haven't trained to fight. You haven't trained to use any weapons. So in this situation, it could really cause you a panic, especially at using tools that are from the outside. Maybe you've never gone to the outside. Maybe you've never camped. Maybe like just getting resources and having to move around in ways that you've never had to. It really could depict and show people that things could really get bad. So honestly, this would really engage audiences and really having to maybe put themselves in these shoes, and also just entertainment, watching someone be in this situation really starts a sense of panic, and that's entertaining to some people. So that's something that we wanted to get, just a sense of panic and sense of urgency. Sense of urgency really gets people some adrenaline going, and that's what we wanted. We wanted some, and we also wanted to scare some people with the zombie scenes. The zombie scenes were great. We really got to fight and stuff like that. When we fought the zombie, that's also something people really enjoyed to see, and so then people enjoy to see. It makes us more happy. We really think that was enjoyed. The way that we would roll out the media is really just by after we were done filming, we would have loved to get ads on YouTube, to get ads out in many other ways, by getting posters out, by just getting it on commercials, on regular cable, which would really get people to engage. People would be able to see the trailer. We would also make a trailer for our movie once our final product is finished. That's what we would really want to get out to the media. We wouldn't just have a title sequence. We would have a final film before we got it to the people, and we want to get it approved and other things of that manner. Another way we'd like to get this media to be distributed is to get it with some cross-media promotion and get it to McDonald's, Wendy's, and any other fast food restaurants that we could get some toys or just posters.
Okay, so that was a really good answer. How do you think about this next question? How did your production skills develop throughout this project?
My production skills really developed with this project as all of us did the music video, and we also did the commercial. I got some of my first skills from there, but blossoming from that, I really got to learn things about how to film, watching Keith, which Keith was a great director and was just great at filming. He honestly showed me many things that I just didn't know when we did our other films, which he showed me how much better we could have done with what we did with our final product before. It honestly showed me how much improvement I made and he made throughout our films. Also, editing was probably the biggest thing that developed for me. Editing was something that I didn't really know any of, because in the other films, as I did a very little of it, most of my other group mates took the really, really, really big role of just doing most of it, while I did some of it. I did a lot more in other facets of the film. In this film, although Monjour was still the #1 top editor, I was second in coming. So as second in coming editor, I really got to develop my skills, because me, Keith, and Juan were really at the same level, but I just really learned it faster than them. So that's when Monjour, being the best, noticed that I had more talent than them two in editing. So he was like, I need you to help me with editing so that we could get this done. So my skills just really developed while doing that. My development also really increased in my acting. My acting honestly wasn't as good as I would like to in my first 2 films, especially in my second film. There were some things that could have been better in general. And I think that in this film, things just really blossomed for me in various ways, because my acting, you really couldn't tell that I was acting. I could have maybe done better in a scene, but improvement was still there. Development was there, improvement was there, and that's really what matters to me. As long as I improve and as I develop as a actor and filmer, that is what matters to me. Another thing that I improved That's again just editing. Editing was just that thing that skyrocketed for me in many ways.
All right. And so for the final question, how did you integrate technologies, software, hardware, and online in this project?
I integrated software in many ways. First, we used computers to get the filming started off. We started off with our iPhone 12 Pro Maxes, and we used my phone mainly, which was Keith behind filming and directing. But we also used Manzoor's phone. We also used Keith's phone, and for small instances, we also used Juan's phone. But mine was the main driver. Another thing that we used is the computer. We used the computer in many ways. We used it to edit, mainly because editing was a big thing for our film. The film really helped with our final product. The editing software that we used was CapCut, and we used Sony Atmos. Sony Atmos was really great for us. We really got to use the sounds. The cutting was easy, and it really made things very much a lot smoother. To get sounds, we only didn't just he already had some downloaded, but we also had to find some online, and we had to go on YouTube to find our music and just to get more diegetic sounds into our film. The film was also we used a TV to get a sound in the background. We used the TV to, once we got, it wasn't only for the sound, we also used it for the video where it seemed as the TV was not working anymore. We also used our phones to send the clips back and forth to each other so that we could have the clips and review the clips and get opinions from other people on the clips. And then we also used our phones to get opinions on our final film. We showed it to our cousins, our family, our friends, just to get genuine opinions instead of our opinions or just our mom's opinion on our video. So we just wanted genuine opinions, and that's what we got when we used that by sending the video back and forth. Sending the video back and forth was honestly the best decision we could have made when we got people's opinion. It really told us if our film was just great or not, and that is really the main reason that our film came out how it did. We just used the TV to also watch YouTube videos on tutorials on how to use Sony Atmos, because Manzoor had a very great idea how to use Sony Atmos, but he's trying to teach us, and we just didn't really understand his teaching, and so we used it so that we could just watch some tutorials, us three, so that we could edit ourselves at our houses, and that really helped us get things done. Thank you, and I really hope that this film gets to everyone's needs.